Hey, this is Dr. Berry. In this short video, let's discuss 11 ways that the ketogenic diet can change your life. The ketogenic diet is a very ancestrally appropriate diet that our DNA knows exactly what to do with. Our DNA doesn't like it when we calorie restrict, and it doesn't like it when we eat high carb, lots of whole grains. But our DNA does love it when we eat the ketogenic way of eating, and that gives you many, many benefits in your life. Now, if you think you might like this video, please consider subscribing to my channel and clicking the little bell right beside the subscribe button. That way, every time I get a bright idea, you are one of the very first to know. I have many videos on this channel about the ketogenic way of eating, and so if you're curious about that, you can watch some of those to learn even more. Now, let's talk about 11 ways the ketogenic diet can change your life. Number one, and one of the very most important things for many people, is that the ketogenic way of eating helps to lower your blood pressure. So if you have elevated blood pressure, or even if you have hypertension, so many people, when they start eating keto, notice that their blood pressure comes down. I've had multiple patients in the clinic where I practice have to stop one or two or even three of their blood pressure medications because their blood pressure returns to normal when they start eating keto. And you can obviously understand the importance and how healthful that is to not have to take these potentially side effect creating medications. You just eat the diet instead. Number two, the ketogenic diet slows down the aging process. Now, aging is a very complicated thing, and there are many variables. The best analogy I've ever heard about aging is that aging is like driving a car with only an accelerator. There's no brake pedal, right? And so the only thing that you can do is you can speed up the aging process by doing dumb things, by eating dumb things, by drinking dumb things. What the ketogenic way of eating basically does is it brings your foot up off the accelerator. And you're going to age, you're going to get older. We all do. There's nothing we can do about that currently. But you sure don't want to be speeding up the process, right? And the ketogenic diet mimics calorie restriction or fasting diets or high fat diets. That's what it does, and that's how it does this. It basically mimics the experiments you may have heard about where mice, rats, worms, all kinds of things they've doubled and tripled their lifespan. We can't actually lock humans in a room and cut their caloric intake, right? We can't do that because that's considered torture and kidnapping and other felonies. But we can do that with animals, and every animal species that we've tried this with lives longer. They live 30, 40, 50, 100% longer. And so the ketogenic diet naturally makes you start to have a time restricted feeding window because you're so satiated with the fat that you mimic these life extension diets that you may have read about. Number three, the ketogenic way of eating improves joint pain and inflammation. I cannot begin to estimate how many patients I've had at the Berry Clinic who have been able to come off their daily anti-inflammatory. I've even had people who were on the surgery list to have their knee replaced. And once they had been eating keto for a few months, they were able to call the surgeon and say, yeah, you know what, take me off the schedule. I'll give you a call when I need you. And I think that's a very powerful thing. Number four, the ketogenic way of eating decreases the frequency of contracting autoimmune conditions, and it also decreases the severity if you already have one. So think about autoimmune diseases. They consist of three things. You have a genetic predisposition, right? But you also have chronic inflammation in your body, and that increases the odds. And then you're eating crap food, and all those things together lead to, oh, boom, you've got an autoimmune condition. So if you'd like to increase your odds of never getting one, or if you already have one and you'd like to decrease the severity of flare-ups and the frequency of flare-ups, then I would highly recommend the ketogenic way of eating to you. Number five, the ketogenic diet improves your mood. I have had numerous patients who decreased or stopped their antidepressant medication, many patients who came off their anti-anxiety medication. I've even had patients who've been formally and rigorously diagnosed with bipolar disorder be able to decrease or stop their medications and effectively cure all three of these conditions just by getting the inflammatory standard diet out of their mouths. And so the ketogenic diet is very powerful for improving and stabilizing the mood. Number 6, it improves heartburn. You probably know someone who, when they got on the keto way of eating, they lost weight, their heartburn got better, and they stopped taking their Nexium, Prilosec, Protonix, Zantac, Pepcid. I hear that all the time at the clinic. It makes me very happy anytime someone can stop taking an unnecessary daily medication, and the ketogenic diet definitely helps with heartburn and GERD. Number 7, the ketogenic diet is absolutely the best diet I've ever seen ever for curing fatty liver disease, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, or non-alcoholic fatty steatohepatitis. All these get better on the ketogenic diet. I've had numerous patients who had a repeat ultrasound. Their first ultrasound showed they had fatty liver. Their ALT was elevated. They had kind of that bloated pot belly of fatty liver. A year later, we repeated the ultrasound after they'd been keto for the majority of the year. The fat was gone. And there's actually something even worse than fatty liver, and that's fatty pancreas. I have a video here on this channel if you want to check that out. But fatty liver and fatty pancreas lead to so many chronic diseases and can even lead to liver failure and type 2 diabetes. So you definitely, if you're starting to get a fatty liver, you want to cure that. That's not optional. Number 8, the ketogenic way of eating optimizes your hormones. And I do a lot of hormone optimization in my clinic, but I've noticed that many people don't need the hormone optimization anymore once they start eating the proper ancestrally appropriate diet, which I believe is the ketogenic diet. I'm not saying that if a man has a testosterone of 250, that keto is going to increase it to 950, but I have multiple times seen a man's testosterone go from 250 to 400 just by changing his diet. I've seen a woman's testosterone go from 3 to 45 just by starting to eat keto. And so I think it optimizes all of your hormones, not just your sex hormones. But I've seen that happen with all the hormones in the human body when somebody truly commits to the ketogenic way of eating. Number 9, it controls your appetite. How many times have you been on a calorie restricted diet, like the Weight Watchers diet, the Jenny Craig, Lean Cuisine, Slim Fast, whatever? They're all calorie restriction diets, but they don't give you enough fat. And so you're chronically hungry and you're chronically lowering your metabolic rate. And so you'll lose 5, 10, 20 pounds, but then it stops. And then as soon as you stop the diet and you stop it because you're hungry and miserable, then all the weight comes back plus 5 pounds. The ketogenic way of eating is not like that. You get to eat lots of healthy fats. And so the fat naturally tweaks your hunger hormones, leptin and ghrelin, and you're just not hungry. That's why so many people on the ketogenic way of eating kind of effortlessly slip into time restricted feeding or intermittent fasting, is because it's easy to do those things when you're on keto because you're just not hungry. And so if you're sick and tired of starving to death trying to lose weight, you should maybe try the ketogenic way of eating. I think you'll be very happy with that. Number 10, this is great for the teenagers and the 20-somethings and even the 30-somethings, is it improves acne. Like no diet I've ever seen, when a teenager with severe acne truly commits to eating ketogenic way, the acne gets substantially better. And I'm talking about the cystic pustular scarring acne, as well as just the blackheads and whiteheads. It all gets better because acne comes from two things. It comes from hormones and it comes from inflammation. And when the ketogenic diet has optimized your hormones, and then when it's also got rid of the inflammation, the acne just effortlessly goes away without any expensive creams, lotions, pills, injections. So that's pretty powerful for people with acne. And then lastly, number 11, and I purposefully made this one last. So many people focus on weight loss, and that's why they come to keto. But I wanted to put this one last. I wanted you to understand there are so many other benefits to the ketogenic way of eating. Yes, definitely, if you have weight to lose, it's going to help you lose weight like no other diet, and it's going to help you keep it off permanently, unlike any other diet. That's the beauty of the ketogenic way of eating, is it's going to tend to make you move towards your ideal body weight. And so if you're too skinny, I've seen people gain weight on keto. If you're too fat, I've seen so many people lose weight on the ketogenic way of eating. Now, if you enjoyed this video and if you know someone who needs to know about these benefits, please share this on your Facebook page. Feel free to share this in your keto group, your low carb, high fat group, even your paleo group. You have my permission to share, because when you share, you help me help so many more people, because you see, I'm on a mission to stamp out chronic disease and metabolic syndrome and type 2 diabetes and childhood obesity. And only with your help can I do that. Now, if you really want to give me a little extra help, you can click on the Patreon link. It's right down below. You can sign up quickly and you can throw a buck or two my way. And it helps me have more time to make more videos just like this so that I can help more people. This is Dr. Berry. I'll see you next time.